Morning students. In the previous class we have seen the solution of state equation. So under that we have seen two things. One is your homogeneous solution and second one is your non-homogeneous solution. So and also we have seen the difference between what is the major difference between your homogeneous and non-homogeneous. In homogeneous your input u of t will be equal to 0, whereas in case of non-homogeneous u of t is not equal to 0. It means that the input will be present in case of your non-homogeneous equation, whereas the input is absent in case of your homogeneous equation. In case of your homogeneous equation, we can obtain only zero input response, that is ZIR, and in non-homogeneous equation we can obtain both zero input response as well as your zero state response. Therefore, the total response that can be obtained if you consider your input is zero input response as well as your zero state response. From this we have identified what is our from this there is a parameter called state transition matrix, and how to identify that state transition matrix we will be seeing in this class. So there are different methods of computing your state transition matrix. The first method is your Laplace transformation method. Second method, it's a power series method. Third, Clay-Hamilton method. Fourth, similarity transformation method. So in all these four methods, now we will see how to solve the state transition matrix e to the power of at. Now while applying the solution of state transition matrix, this state transition matrix is very important to obtain the solution of your state equation. And these are all the different methods where we can obtain the state transition matrix. So we'll see one by one with the problems. The first method what we are going to see is your Laplace transformation method. So under Laplace transformation method, we will see the procedure how to solve your state transition matrix. Now, while studying, which defines the stability of the system? Your characteristics equation. So, which is your characteristics equation? Si minus a is your characteristics equation, because the roots of this characteristics equation is going to define the complete stability of the system. Now, in this we are going to identify your state transition matrix e to the power of at. Now we know that what is your e power at? E power at we can write it as phi of t. So in Laplace transformation method we can write it as phi of s. This is in time domain. Whatever I have shown over here, it is in time domain. Now we can obtain with the s domain. So phi of s is equal to si minus a inverse. Now, Si minus A inverse, we all know that it is adjoint of Si minus A divided by determinant value of Si minus V. This is the simple formula that we have seen in many of the problems what we have solved before. Now, knowing your Si minus A, it is possible. Suppose if you can identify your Si minus A matrix, then it is possible for us to obtain your phi of S. So this phi of S, what could be the order of your matrix? Again it will be the matrix order that is same as that of your matrix order A. Under Laplace transformation method, we need to consider your characteristics polynomial equation Si minus A, because this is the roots of this characteristics equation is going to define the complete stability of the system. Also we know that the state transition matrix is represented with e to the power of at, which we can write it as phi of t. Now let us consider the phi of t in S domain as phi of s is equal to Si minus A inverse. And this Si minus A inverse is nothing but adjoint of Si minus A divided by determinant value of Si minus A. And phi of s can be easily obtained if you identify the value of Si minus A, and again the order of the matrix phi of s output, the output of phi of s is going to be your matrix. The order of the matrix is again going to be the matrix order A. Now when you write this, this is Laplace transformation method, you need to identify your state transition matrix, that is e to the power of at, which is equal to phi of t. When you take a Laplace inverse for this phi of s, if you take a Laplace inverse for this phi of s, you can obtain your state transition matrix e power at. So Laplace inverse of phi of s is equal to Laplace inverse of Si minus A inverse. So after identifying this Si minus A inverse, you can apply a Laplace inverse to obtain your state transition matrix. So under this, now we will be solving one problem. Consider the problem. Find the state transition matrix for the matrix A. So here A matrix is given. Using Laplace transformation method, we need to identify your state transition matrix. Formula to identify the state transition matrix is e power at is the representation of your state transition matrix, which is equal to Laplace inverse of Si minus A inverse. So it is the formula to identify your state transition matrix using Laplace inverse method. And also we know that how to identify your Si minus A inverse. Si minus A inverse can be identified with adjoint of Si minus A divided by determinant value of Si minus A. And also we know that how to identify the adjoint of Si minus A. Adjoint of Si minus A can be identified with the cofactor matrix of Si minus A transpose. So this is the very easiest method where we can obtain our state transition matrix e to the power of at. Now coming back to the next step. So in this, first we need to identify what is our Si minus A. S is a constant term as written over here. It is a constant term, and I is your identity matrix whose order is same as that of your order of your matrix A, and minus A. This is your A matrix. So when you do so, you will be getting the term S1 minus 2 S plus 3. Now we know that how to identify your adjoint of Si minus A. Adjoint of Si minus A is cofactor matrix transpose. Now in this, for this particular matrix, we need to identify the cofactor. So to identify, so we need to identify what is C11, what is C12. Then what is C21, what is C22. Now C11 is minus 1 to the power of 2 minor of the element. It means that first row, first column in Si minus A we should cancel. So first row, first column, if you cancel, what you are getting? You are getting S plus 3. So here C11 is going to be S plus 3, which is mentioned over here. Next you need to identify what is your C12. C12 means minus 1 to the power of 1 plus 2 is 3. And what is the minor of the element? The minor of the element can be identified as first row, second column. So according to this, you need to cut first row and second column. First row and second column. After cutting, what is the term remaining? It is minus 2. So minus 2 is the minor of the element for C12. So here minus 2, and when you do minus 1 to the power of minus 1 to the power of 3, minus 1 to the power of 3, here it is going to be minus 1. So minus 1 multiplied by minus 2 is going to be plus 2. So you are going to write the cofactor matrix 2 over here. It is C12 as the transpose is taken. Suppose when you write a cofactor matrix, it will be C11, C12, C21, C22. So when you take a cofactor matrix transpose, you will be writing it as C11, and here you have to write C12, C21, C22. That is why after identifying C12, it is written 2 over here because it is a cofactor matrix transpose. Next one is your C21. C21 is equal to minus 1 to the power of 3. That is, in this second row and first column you should eliminate. It is your second row, first column if you eliminate, you are getting 1 over here. So when you calculate C21, you are going to get minus 1. Next is your C22. C22 is nothing but minus 1 to the power of 4. That is 2 plus 2 is 4. In this second row, second column you have to eliminate. After that, the minor of the element is going to be S. So the cofactor transpose matrix is identified as shown over here. Now what is the determinant value of Si minus A? The determinant value of Si minus A can be identified from this one, which is nothing but S square plus 3S plus 2. So the determinant value is identified as s square plus 3s plus 2 and the adjoint of si minus a is determined as s plus 3 minus 1 2s. So if you make this adjoint of si minus a divided by determinant value, we are going to get si minus a inverse. And then phi of s. What is the formula in Laplace transformation method to identify your e to the power of at? E to the power of at, the formula is Laplace inverse of si minus a inverse. So it is the formula. Already we have identified what is our si minus a. Now just taking Laplace inverse for this particular parameter, we will be getting our state transition matrix e to the power of at. So whatever it is your phi of s, and e to the power of at is equal to Laplace inverse of si minus a, which is equal to Laplace inverse of s plus 3 divided by s plus 1 into s plus 2 minus 1 divided by s plus 1 into s plus 2 minus 2 divided by s plus 1 into s plus 2 s divided by s plus 1 into s plus 2. Now we need to take a partial fraction for this particular, for every element in the matrix. So your first element is s plus 3 divided by s plus 1 into s plus 2. So if you take a partial fraction method, so it is already the equation is given. If you take a partial fraction method, it will be like this. So we will be writing it as s plus 3 divided by s plus 1 into s plus 2 can be written as a divided by s plus 1 plus b divided by s plus 2. So we need to identify the value of a and b in this. So when you do so, you will be getting s plus 3 is equal to a into s plus 2 plus b into s plus 3 whole divided by s plus 1, not 2, it is s plus 1. So when you take a partial fraction method, you will be getting s plus 3 divided by s plus 1 into s plus 2 is equal to a into s plus 2 plus b into s plus 1 whole divided by s plus 1 into s plus 2. So the denominator term gets cancelled on both sides. We will be getting a into s plus 2 plus b into s plus 1. So in this you need to put s is equal to minus 2. When you put s is equal to minus 2, your a term will get cancelled from this equation. So when it gets cancelled, you will be getting minus b is equal to 1. B is equal to 1. It means that you need to substitute s is equal to minus 2. That is, wherever you have s, there you need to substitute minus 2. After substituting, the a term will get cancelled, whereas your b term here minus 2 plus 1. So you will be getting minus b. Minus b is equal to 1. Therefore b is equal to 1. Like this only we need to do. Okay. Next one, in the same equation, you put s is equal to minus 1. When you put s is equal to minus 1, here b term will get cancelled when you put s is equal to minus 1. Then here you will be getting a is equal to 2. Therefore the value of a is going to be 2 and b is going to be minus 1. So after identifying, you can see over here, wherever you have a in the place of a, this equation. So now according to the problem what we had written,